Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning,
Of course she did.
which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents.
Why can't we just play as Kyoko?
Honestly,
She's too smart for us.
honestly, that'd make the game more interesting since you'd have to figure out everything from a clean slate.
Yeah.
Kyoko really is amazing. Although, I'm a male, so I have to be the protagonist.
Ooh.
Also that.
Hello everyone and welcome to 4pixels. All your hosts are here and we are continuing Danganronpa. No, there absolutely is a connection.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I gotta get in the mood for this.
Go kill someone.
There's nobody around.
Damn it.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time that Taka was murdered.
Gasp.
We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Ah. Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show off that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
It almost seems like she's tapping her cheek and thought with her tongue.
She
Oh god,
probably...
ew.
She can't do it. She probably would.
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me. God, the culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note, if it's not just Kyoko now.
The disease
It's
is spreading.
spreading.
Goodness, what were Kyoko and Hina doing that made that spread so quickly?
Whoa.
Wait.
Did she go to the bathroom too? But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuff down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us. Give me back my star already!
Right, you stole the star. You stole his star. There. When I searched,
Yeah.
Sure.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died, clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Wow!
What?
Wow! Yeah, after saying all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing.
God.
In fact, he's still alive.
No. Just no. Never talk again.
Not even
After
sorry.
Never open your mouth.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did it is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Stop arguing with yourself, Kanetsu.
Damn it.
Yeah, got it. Are you okay there?
I don't know.
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too, but there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi. The weapon?
Stop talking with yourself, Kime.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You've been doing this longer than me, so. Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. Who's clapping?
I don't know why that made me laugh. It was like such an immediate response. Who's clapping?
I'm curious.
That was my earbud hitting my laptop.
Okay, so no one's clapping. Good to know. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, Then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
Quite frankly, completely and utterly shocked. It seems like there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Honestly, relatable. Hell yeah, it's back in there, good and tight. He's right though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms,
so the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hand on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2? They don't have to be huge to kill someone, you just hit them hard enough.
Yeah.
all in the right place.
So those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right? So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. I'm actually not entirely sure on this one.
You can do it.
No, spotless hammer.
There you go.
they give you the answer right there.
Yep. Okay.
Wink,
Oh.
wink.
You want to
Wait,
read
what?
that?
Oh, yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I want to stab your seriously adorably serious face off.
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
You don't want to have your face stabbed.
Whatever.
Eh? Depends on who.
I'm gonna visit that website. Of course it's Yasuhiro who fucks it up.
Of course. It had to be.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But seriously? A different weapon?
I don't think it's completely different if they're both hammers.
Shh. They're not
One is a
cool.
different color.
Exactly.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Gasp.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that will explain the Monokuma Fire's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer, the one Hifumi was working with, and the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. I mean, who would want to work together with him?
Wow, harsh.
But she's not wrong.
The way the graduation rule works, there's no benefit to helping someone else carry out murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Did we?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together.
I see.
At least that's what we thought at first, but...
Throw the hammer in someone's face.
Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on this? Oh, there's nothing there about the spotless hammer, so...
And I think you
the thingy.
I think you need to grab the last one and throw it back at Celeste's door.
Okay, that makes sense.
Since there's also like only two thingies.
What?
No.
I think it might have launched it again. It's because my I think I mentioned this before, my mouth is at the end of its life, so sometimes the clicks stick.
No.
There we go.
Because like it's useless to do two murders, but it's not impossible.
Once again, using Kyoko's words. At least this time it wasn't us just repeating what she already said.
And taking credit for it when I searched the body.
When I searched the body.
Well, actually, yeah. I was gonna say that he was the one who like took the note from Taka's hand, but it was Kyoko who found it to begin with.
Yeah.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Oh, Makoto. The payoff for working together, the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders?
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So, in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all. The mastermind picked a target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. I mean, technically there isn't a rule against that, just no one's gonna benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it wrong, Byakuya. You deserve to lose that star.
Wow.
Take his silver one.
Yes. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How can anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, the choice of accomplice seems, odd. The effort made to convince us the two murderers were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning.
Of course she did.
Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents.
Why can't we just play as Kyoko?
Honestly?
She's too smart for us.
Honestly, that'd make the game more interesting, since you'd have to figure out everything from a clean slate.
Yeah.
Kyoko really is amazing. Although, I'm a male, so I have to be the protagonist.
Ooh!
Also that.
Once you think about it, she's almost too amazing.
Well, I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there was supposed apparently to be like a female protag in B3, but
People
apparently
were pissed that it wasn't the robot guy.
what?
Hmm?
People
were super mad that the main character wasn't the robot dude.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a girl, but at the end it wasn't. And like people were also pissed about that.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
I know what you guys are talking about.
Because
Like-
apparently, like just going by the trailers of the B3, they made it seem like you were going to play as a girl, like for the first time since Ultra Despair Girls. But apparently that wasn't the case.
Then
You
who
play
is
as
the
a-
main character?
I don't know. Apparently,
Generic guy
apparently it's a
number
guy.
3.
Hmm?
Generic guy number 3.
Yeah,
Probably.
of course. Makoto the Third.
Or is
Like,
it the fourth?
it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit.
Pick a person.
Now,
I think it was Makoto.
yeah,
Probably.
like this was the other cases, like I mentioned, the first one I kind of thought Leon was a red herring. Mondo, I could understand the case, like how it unfolded, but I didn't figure out it was him. This was the one where, like, from the very beginning, I knew who it was, but I had no fucking idea what actually went on.
Yeah, it was very obvious that it was her, but at the same time, I was like, okay, what the hell did she do?
Exactly. Like, there was a point where I was just like, you know what?
Just kill her. Just get her out.
Like, I'll
Be
just
done with
follow
it.
the game. I can put all these points together once they're laid out, but I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, the thing.
Go ahead.
I know that the thing here is that you kind of need to push it out of her. So like, well, the other two cases were mostly like getting the facts together that will point to a culprit. Here you just grab a few things and like you need to point a culprit, so the culprit in this case Celeste will actually talk and explain, because everything is just so in the air. Like no one saw nothing, no one knows anything.
It was Celeste.
私が怪しいのですか？
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You have always
嫌
been.
ですわ。そんなご冗談を。
I really do hate this kind of joke. A joke? I wonder.
では、私と山田くんが組んでいたとおっしゃるのですね。
So what you're saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
そんな、私と山田くんが組んでいたなんて。
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him. That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains! That lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardon-moi.
Nice pronunciation there.
Yeah.
What?
Nice pronunciation there.
I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not.
No, it's fine. It was okay.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it. That's very reassuring. Is that so?
そう今回の一連の事件においてお前らだけは共通してある行動をとっていた
Why didn't you bring this up earlier, Byakuya?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was a certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
それが根拠になるんだよお前らが組んでいたことのな
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together. What was it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
The scream.
The screaming.
山田君とスレッセンだけが共通してとっていた行動
Enough. Enough.
The
Stop
behavior that they had in common had to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
例の不審者ジャスティスロボを目撃してるのってセレスさんと山田君だけだったもんね
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
しゃばるな
Shush! The adults are talking now.
I
Danny
took your
adult.
star. Hello.
Sorry.
苗木の言う通り例の不
The
審
only
者を
adult
目
is
撃している
here
の
in
は
here technically is just a hero though.
だけだった
Sad. As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
その山田が犯人の一人であればもう一方のセレスの証言も怪しいと見るのが当然だ
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
全て嘘ってこと？
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
図書室で怪我をした山田を保健室に連れて行った後俺たちは全員で不審者の捜索を始めたな
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
その直後のセレスの言葉を思い出してみろ
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? Flashback.
Whoosh.
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
あの証言があったからこそ俺たちは2階へと移動したんだ
And we are going to go ahead and end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
Next time Celeste dies.
Wow.
Why would you? Oh, Kime.